By the end of this lesson, you should be able to problems involving impulsive forces. A man wants to jump from a burning building. What would the impulsive force exerted on the man be if he chooses to jump straight to the ground, given that his mass is 60 kilograms, his velocity just before hitting the ground is 20 meters per second, and the time of impact is 0.4 seconds? The magnitude of the impulsive force is equal to the rate of change of momentum. The impulsive force acting on the man if he jumps straight to the ground is 3,000 newtons. What would the impulsive force exerted on the man be if he chooses to jump on a trampoline? His velocity just before hitting the trampoline is the same, that is, 20 meters per second, and the time of the impact is 1.5 seconds. The impulsive force exerted if the man chooses to jump on the trampoline is 800 newtons. What would the impulsive force exerted on the man be if the man chooses to jump onto the mattresses? His velocity just before hitting the mattresses is the same, that is, 20 meters per second, and the time of the impact is 2 seconds. From the calculation, the impulsive force exerted if the man chooses to jump onto the mattresses is 600 newtons. We have calculated the impulsive force that would be exerted on the man if he jumps onto 3 different surfaces: the ground, the trampoline, and the mattresses. Which surface should he choose to jump onto? Why? It is advisable to jump onto the mattresses. The impulsive force exerted would be 600 newtons, which is 200 newtons lower than jumping onto the trampoline, and 5 times lower than jumping straight to the ground. Jumping onto the mattresses has the longest time of impact, thus reducing the impulsive force exerted. In a game of cricket, a pitcher throws a ball of 0.5 kilograms to a batsman with velocity 5 meters per second. The batsman hits the ball and it flies in the opposite direction at 8 meters per second. What is the impulse of the ball? Impulse exerted on the ball is negative 6.5 kilogram meter per second. What would the impulsive force exerted on the ball be if the ball is hit by the bat in 0.02 seconds? From the calculation as shown, impulsive force exerted is negative 325 newtons. In a badminton match, a player starts the game by hitting a shuttlecock of mass 0.05 kilograms with his racket. Impulse from the impact is 0.5 newton-second. If the time of collision between the racket and shuttlecock is 0.2 seconds, what would the impulsive force exerted be? The impulsive force exerted when the racket hits the shuttlecock is 2.5 newtons. When the shuttlecock reaches the other side of the court, the opposite player executes a smashing stroke on the shuttlecock. The shuttlecock rebounds with a velocity of 20 meters per second. What is the impulsive force exerted if the initial velocity of the shuttlecock was 10 meters per second and the time taken to execute the stroke is 0.1 seconds? From the calculation, the impulsive force exerted when the player executes the smashing stroke is 50 newtons.